What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the After Action Report, where we are going to talk about probably the silliest game that we've had. But I will say, I think it's also been the most interesting Sentinel game we've had on the channel so far.
I agree.
All things considered, I think it has been the most balanced Sentinel game where we've actually seen stuff happen. It hasn't just been the Sentinels roll up and their dice just say, we're going to win or we're going to lose, or there hasn't anything been weird like that.
And it's not that we didn't have any crazy dice spikes. We definitely had those. But this game definitely had a lot of back and forth.
It did. I was actually really happy with it. I honestly thought I was on such a back foot early on in the game, overcommitting Laura and Honey Badger.
Yep.
I honestly think I did that.
Yeah.
And I got, what was it? Was it round 3 that I got really lucky?
Yes, round 3, everything kind of turned around.
Yeah, round 3 where things kind of went around. I made some successful saves, which made the big difference on stuff. You weren't quite able to follow through with a couple dazes.
Yep.
And yeah, it was a huge thing. So yeah, let's talk your Sentinels for a moment and the addition of Pyro.
So Pyro likes incinerate. Sentinels like things to be incinerated.
Yes, sir.
I think I may have stumbled across
the secret sauce.
Yeah. No.
Big brain moment.
I think it's actually more that he has access to range 4 attacks. He's a small model that can get into places where he needs to. He helps out the Sentinels do the things that they need to do. And he doesn't need to have any specific kinds of support. I definitely thought this was an interesting fight at 16. So
yeah, I agree with you. I think that range 4 attack is not to be underestimated, especially in this scenario where I literally had to walk towards you to score as many points as I could, right?
Yep.
I mean, I could have played it safe and brought him back a little bit and just kind of turtled around here, because that maybe would have had to pull someone off that point there. But as soon as I saw you moving your Sentinels in from the 2 side points, I thought, okay, you're not going for the points win, right? You're going for an attrition win, and dang it, you almost did it.
Well, and what's funny about the story is I was originally going for that points win. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll get 3. He's got the researcher. We'll see what the scrum looks like in the middle. Oh, that's just filled with people. I don't think Prime and Pyro can take on the entire X-Men. So
Pyro almost did.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was kind of questioning myself very early on whether or not Pyro was the right target to go into as much as I did early on, and I think I was justified in that. Pyro had to go down.
Yep.
In fact, I think if Psylocke hadn't kind of performed so poorly into Pyro, the game probably would have been over a round or 2 ago.
Sure.
Instead of going to the full 6. Simply because Pyro was there, like he was putting those incinerates on my guys. You root and slowed Cyclops, which, I mean, I don't know how much that really did. Although this just kind of reinforced Cyclops is just disappointing.
Yeah, like he did some okay things, but he never really succeeded.
He had a great round 5, where he just friggin' went, ape turd on Prime there.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, that was pretty mean. I really wanted Prime to last a lot longer than he was. So
yeah, I wasn't expecting to get a 5 damage blast through on Prime.
That's just not supposed to happen, man.
No, it's Cyclops. These dice don't do that.
Yeah.
I think that really showcases Cyclops is so dice dependent, and the dice don't show up. I really wish he had a gainer, not a builder.
Yep, I agree.
That would make him feel a lot better, because then he was getting that guaranteed power, which means like by turn 2, I mean he possibly is getting Field Leader online, which would be really nice.
Yeah.
So.
And Field Leader, I think, is one of the big perks of having Cyclops around. I think sometimes when he does his hit and run stuff, it's not necessarily super reliable what he's going to get out of it. So
yeah, because you can't guarantee you're getting power off anything, right?
Yeah,
and it sucks. So I was disappointed with Psylocke this game. Now, granted, I was going into big things that are very strong against like Mystic attacks.
Yep.
So I didn't expect her to do much. She did tank a couple attacks, which were really good.
That's true.
But I mean, once you flipped her, that was just kind of it. She was kind of done for the game. Honey Badger, man. Honey Badger was an MVP for me this game. No question about it.
Yep.
She held on long enough that I had 3 rounds of her being just too dangerous to ignore.
The real problem with the story is I'm like, yeah. You can redirect into Gabby. I'll finish her off here. She's only got 2 health, 0 damage, 1 damage. What?
Yeah. Like she held on way longer than she had any business holding on to, which was just frankly amazing.
Yes.
Because she kept me in the game.
And yeah, she also got the incinerates going on, and you had a bunch of physical attackers, which just like cut through my guys, even though I had big bulky hit points.
Yeah. The amount of damage that Laura was able to get through because of too dangerous to ignore.
Yeah.
Because going down from that 3 dice down to a 2 was just it hurts.
It was, and like I have all those rerolls with Prime, and it did not matter.
Yeah. Especially once you factor in like Laura was cutting into you with Pierce as well, right? Like it's just even if you were re-rolling, there was a good chance like that was just going to re-roll into nothing.
Yep. It was kind of painful, but good at the same time.
It goes to show that X-23 really does punch above her weight.
She does
quite a bit.
She does. Now I think like she kind of loves the support she gets from Gabby. So oftentimes I think of Gabby as a 2-power Infinity Stone for her, which definitely increases her.
But mind you, Gabby is also a bit of a liability. She's not scoring anything, right? And it can very easily go sideways.
It can. But I really feel like it amps up the damage that you get out of X-23. Like dropping me down to 2 dice and getting a Pierce, I wasn't stopping any damage from her. If you had any. She has martial arts, so she can manipulate her dice a little bit. Like
no, it's not martial art. It's what is it? It's assassin training.
Assassin training.
Yeah, so she gets to reroll one of her attack or defense dice.
Yeah, so that's pretty solid.
Yeah. No, she punches above her weight. I love X-23. She's so good.
Yeah,
she's so good.
Very solid. Very solid.
A surprising performance from Gambit this game.
Yes,
he tanked way more attacks than he really should have.
Yeah, I think I attacked him 3 or 4 times in the opening volleys and whatnot, and he took 1 damage from it.
Yeah,
I was like, what? But you're Gambit. You're supposed to die now.
It's one of the few games where Gambit actually showed up and did something.
Yeah.
And he came up. He scored me a bunch of points. I think he was scoring points every single round.
Because then he did his little dash across here.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Yeah, the field leader into the move, and so he was scoring points every single round, which was huge. And he actually put some vital damage onto a couple targets.
He definitely did, and then he finished the game with a
52 card pickup.
Yeah.
The Sentinels they're just picking up all the cards, taking the directive a little bit too. So, oh man, no, it's nice when Gambit actually does something because I want him to be a good character. I really do.
Yeah.
And he's just so infuriatingly inconsistent.
Yes.
But him having the power to actually get up and do things was huge. He didn't do anything till round 6 in that regard, but
he scored you a whole bunch of points, right?
He did.
I think he scored probably.
There was one turn where he kept scoring from happening here.
Yeah. Right. He made the blank play, but he scored 4 points at the end. And I think he got 3 or 4 points over here. So.
There was 2 turns where he scored Researcher, and 2 turns where he scored these.
Oh,
I think that's what it boiled down to.
Okay.
So he did contribute a lot to the points for this particular game. So he was a low key MVP of this particular. Gambit, X-23, and Honey Badger. Those were the 3.
Yep.
Cyclops really didn't do much aside from that one strangely powerful optic blast.
Yep.
And honestly, if I had switched him out for Storm in this game, it probably would have. Storm would have done so much more because I would have had that hop. I would have had cover from a lot of your attacks.
Yep.
And I could have swapped out Cyclops or Psylocke for someone.
Yeah.
Because I then have an extra threat to play with. So maybe I bring in a 5 threat, or maybe I swap out Psylocke for another 4 or something. Maybe a 3 and a 2 or something like that.
Yep. Or there are some decent 5s that can work with the X-Men. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, there's a lot. Juggernaut would have been fun in this game, I think. Actually, surprisingly enough, this would have been a good match for Colossus.
Actually, I think you're right.
One of the few times I'll actually say that. Colossus, because it was just there was so much of the middle of the scrum here, right?
Yep.
Colossus would have been right there, and with him adding dice, having that really beefy defense profile, would have been really awesome in this particular game. Or it could have been just weird and brought in Wolverine and just bring in all 3 of the Wolverines and.
Yeah, no. I think actually Wolverine would have done okay in this one too because I didn't have a lot of control to get him out away from me.
Yeah.
I could just bring him closer, and that's kind of what he wants.
Yeah.
So.
And he also brings a charge with him, right? Because I'm talking about OG Wolverine, not Logan.
That's who I was talking about too, right? So.
Not Logan. Although Logan would have done work in this game as well. We had sweet beams for days.
Yeah, it was
game,
sort of.
right?
The real problem is Logan would have probably killed half of your characters. That would have been nice. So.
It's I wouldn't have been hit with any mystic attacks. I don't know what you're talking about. No, and that was actually something that had me really worried early in the game. I kept being stuck in these positions where I want to score, but to be in the position I want to be in, I'm effectively giving you the beams.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give Pyro the beams, especially after that first volley of Pyro where he just friggin' popped off
Yeah.
and did so much damage, right? I'm so glad I held on to exceptional healing for as long as I did.
Yes, yeah. There's part of me in my brain that wanted you to hold on to it even longer because I feel like it's even more of a gotcha when you're on your injured side. But
Well, I used it on X23's injured side.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Well,
because remember, you went hard into her with Prime, and you did
yes.
6 damage. I blocked
That's
1.
right.
I'm like, I have to exceptionally heal
Yep.
at this point, right? So, yeah. Well, I think that's it for this particular game. Lots of fun. I enjoyed the way it finished off there. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Leave your comments below. Get involved in the conversation. And of course, if you want to support the channel, patreon.com/AegisBrand Studios. We will see you next time. Happy wargaming.